Hello and a warm welcome to the special Kiddies Bulletin. I am Shan Themba.
And I'm Junior Kapofi.
Let us take a look at our main headlines. Namibian children mark the Day of the African Child.
Parents urged to teach their children to embrace cultural diversity.
And the United Nations to carry out a fully fledged investigation into the prevalence of child marriages in Namibia next year. On to our first story. Today, Namibian children joined the rest of the continent in celebrating the Day of the African Child. The day, marked under the theme Leave No Child Behind for Africa's Development, highlights the need to ensure that children are included in and benefit from all of Africa's growth and development programs.
Children have the right to go to school. They have the right to be taken care, and they also have the right to have their medicine or medical.
Children have the right to be free.
Children have the right to be taken care of, and they have the right to have a name. They have a right to go to school, and they have a right to be given shelter.
I don't know. Every children must have nationality, and they must have protection and health. They must be taken care of, and those things. And they must have education, mostly education,
Responsibility, and any right to do anything, but not anything bad, but good.
Children have the right to go to school. Children have the right to have a name. Children have the right to have a proper home, and children have the right to have parents that love them.
Children have a right to talk.
A child has a right to have a name, has a right to go to school, and they have a right to have a birth certificate.
Some children want communities to play an important role when it comes to protecting the Namibian child against child rape.
Nearly every week, one reads media reports of a child that was raped either by a stranger, a family friend, or even a family member. This is a sign that child rape has become a growing concern in Namibia over the past years. Laws such as the Combating of Rape Act, Children's Status Act, and Combating of Immoral Practices Act are just but some of the laws that the Namibian government has put in place to protect the Namibian child against such cruelty.
I don't think we are well protected and safe when it comes to child rape, because we don't have people that we feel free, that we can talk to when such things occur in our lives. However, we are scared because being raped might be embarrassing to some learners or even kids, so we are actually scared to express ourselves. That's why we are not protected, because people are not aware of the situations that we are going through, which is related to child rape.
Candidate legal practitioner from the Wanivi Guys law firm, Emmanuel Unjobala, stressed that despite the government's efforts to protect children, the greatest responsibility still lays with the societies in which these children live.
The community is a very important factor to protecting those children. Parents and family members especially. If they hear the children normally report it, they say, okay, who and who wanted to rape me, especially younger children, they do report such things. So it's up now to the community to protect them, not just the law, not just the government. The community is also a big important factor in this.
Some learners also expressed the need to educate children on their rights.
Child rape is really dangerous and it's a serious crime in Namibia. So those that rape children, especially girls, should be punished, and they shouldn't come out of prison, and they should get life sentences. Because it's real rape, and you are hurting somebody emotionally and mentally and physically. You are hurting the person.
Unjombala advised children to report such immoral acts to their elders, avoid walking alone, and not to speak to strangers. The United Nations Children's Fund will carry out a fully fledged investigation into the prevalence of child marriages in rural parts of Namibia next year. The UN's child welfare body UNICEF says despite a lack of evidence, the ill practice is a huge concern in Namibia.
UNICEF country representative Rachel Odedis says the research will assist the agency in creating awareness, seeking funds from global donors, as well as draft clear guidelines on ending child marriages.
In Namibia, as you rightly say, it is a concern, and it is something that the government is not looking at lightly. We are advocating using evidence from other countries where the UN, together with the government, has very good programs to address the issue of early marriage. Investment in education will keep the girls from early marriage. And so that is why we are putting a lot of emphasis in ensuring that girls have access to free primary education.
Odede says UNICEF has so far invested roughly $400 million over the last 5 years in Namibia and will inject an additional $300 million to safeguard the well-being of children until 2023. They will prioritize issues relating to health, adolescent development and participation, as well as child-friendly environment campaigns over the next 5 years. A recent UN report indicated that 36,000 children aged between 9 and 12 years are out of school in Namibia due to poverty. Odede also heaped praise on Namibia, noting extensive investments in free primary and secondary education, health and gender equality.
If any government can invest in education and health, that government is wise. And I would say that this is exactly what the government of Namibia has done. And we can see that through the commitment on free primary education, but also recently free secondary education.
The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child centers upon the law of non-discrimination. Unfortunately, not all children are spared from discrimination. In the following insert, we take a look at the story of a 3-year-old and her father who are trying to change all of this.
Why do you like this dress?
Because they are so beautiful and so much soft.
So soft.
It started as an innocent act.
We love our country, so I asked her, it's basically Namibia's birthday, so I said to her, that's the reason she's wearing this dress, and we need to sing happy birthday to Namibia.
Then it moved to this.
Happy birthday, dear Namibia. Happy birthday.
Later, the video of the 3-year-old singing led to thousands of views on Facebook. But it's comments like this that got people talking.
We just wanted to celebrate Namibia in a different way, just celebrating different cultures and different people. So that was the whole idea of this dress and where it came from.
Not all comments were positive, but that is not keeping Engel from raising his child in a culturally inclusive environment.
So if we can raise her knowing that she should love all people, not just a certain type, not just a certain culture or certain skin color, that's not what it's about. We should love all people and serve one another the best we can.
Lily Ann's father, Ruben Engel, is determined to raise his child in an environment that embraces all cultures.
The change is going to come by the way we raise our children. And it's going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight. But we should start making a difference and raising these kids to love all people, to love all cultures.
And now Engel wants to see all children raised in the same way.
You can take my life. You can never take my freedom. Subscribe, Namibia.
Many children all over the world take on responsibilities meant for adults. This is for different reasons, from some having lost one or both of their parents, while for others, parents are not available because they have to work. One such child is a 14-year-old girl from Vanaheda who spends most of her time looking after her siblings at home.
Lavinia Christian, a grade 8 learner at Windhoek High School, is a very energetic and vibrant young girl who sees taking care of her 2 siblings as a blessing from God rather than a challenge. Her father, Christian Hafeni, says Lavinia, being the elder sister, had to take up household chores when he was away at work. This, he says, made his daughter more confident and helped her to take responsibility at an early age. And while she does not mind the additional responsibilities, juggling her home responsibilities with her schoolwork can sometimes be a problem.
At school, I can pick up my brother at the kindergarten. After that, I can wash the dishes, polish the shoes, and help my sister out with the homework, and sometimes I can even do my makeup. It's not really easy for me, but I'm really getting used to it. Sometimes I do the household first, and then maybe in the evening is the time that I'm doing my schoolwork.
Her only regret is that she never got to experience a mother-daughter relationship, something she longs for. While all schools in the country face similar challenges, rural schools struggle to meet the standards set by urban schools, mostly due to the lack of resources. We visited the Kwakwas Primary School to see how they deal with some of these challenges.
Situated some 20 kilometers west of Rebos, the Kwakwas Primary School caters to the needs of children from the farming community in the area. With 55 children, the 3 teachers at the school take up different roles to serve children, something that can be overwhelming at times. The school depends on donor funding for food and other necessities.
We struggle a lot. I trust that the government will come through, especially to provide food for those in hostels, because we so far depend on sponsors and they have dried up. I will be honest if I have to say that I'm really worried.
The school is only able to accommodate 50 children, despite the high number of children wanting to attend school. The children share these 3 classrooms, despite them being in different classes.
It's a lot of work. The fact that the children are few does not mean that our work is less. We have the same amount of work that the urban schools have. I have to do office administration and also prepare for my class. So it's a very big task on our shoulders.
Lack of sport facilities is another challenge.
I would love for us to have netball and soccer fields. As you can see, the yard is small and we don't have any place to play.
This is one of the last remaining schools built on private land in this area, after 3 schools closed some years back.
The Junior National Council in Namibia was established with the aim to give young people a voice and serve as a platform on which youth leaders could campaign for change in their societies. Let's take a look.
The Junior National Council is aligned to the strategic plan of the National Council in the 2016 Harambee Prosperity Plan. With this in mind, the Luderitz Town Council conducted an orientation workshop for the newly elected Luderitz Junior Town Council aimed at preparing young people to become active in decision-making processes. We wanted to know why the Luderitz Town Council felt it necessary to support and encourage the Luderitz Junior Town Council.
We are plowing back to the community and especially to the youth, because we are preparing them with future leadership capabilities. In future, these skills will be required in order for you to be a good leader. So start from now, obtain the necessary skill, and we want you to serve your community.
Jan Scholes, the chairperson of the Karas Regional Council, said junior council members are given the opportunity not only to make a contribution, but also to serve their communities while developing their personal leadership skills. This is done under the guidance and mentorship of experienced national leaders.
Leadership is about taking people from point A to point B. And leadership is about influence, and leadership is also about people development. That is why there's leaders and there's also followers, but followers also want to become leaders.
Brigitte Fredericks is the Deputy Mayor of Luderitz. Councillor Fredericks, what encouraging words do you have for young people out there that aspire to be leaders?
I would really like to encourage our youth to stand up in their communities, in their respective communities, to serve as leaders. You know, to be a leader, you must be there to serve. Ne? Being in a leadership position means to serve. So that is the basic, that is the ground line for a leader. You must be able to serve.
The National Junior Council has 42 members consisting of 3 representatives from each region, elected from amongst junior regional councillors. When you as a young person let your own light shine, you empower the next young person to make their own light shine. Paulina Ndafangochi, NBC News, Luderitz.
If you have just joined us, you're watching the Kiddies Bulletin on MBC.
Still ahead.
The government school feeding program continues to feed more and more children countrywide.
And multilingual children say speaking various languages has many benefits. These and more stories coming up after the break.
God bless the children. Keep them safe now and keep them warm. I said, God bless the children. Keep them safe now and keep them warm. Keep them safe.
Welcome back. The Namibian school feeding program continues to feed more and more children countrywide. The NSFP is a scheme introduced by the government in 1991 to lessen the impact of poverty and allow children from poor families to attend school. Let's take a look at how the program helps the learners at the Moses van der Bijl Primary School.
Lack of nutrition can affect a learner both physically and mentally, as every child is not fortunate enough to have 3 meals per day. According to the Ministry of Education, government currently feeds about 366,000 pre-primary and primary school learners throughout the country. This is Philippus with us, and I want to ask him how his meal was. So Philippus, can you please tell us how was your meal?
Good.
You enjoyed your meal?
Yes.
So how do you like to say to the government that they have provided something for us to eat?
I like to say thanks.
Simeon Kamati is a life skills teacher at the Moses van der Bijl Primary School.
So far we have 160 boys. Boys are the one who come in big numbers. And 150 girls approximately. But as you know, this figure we cannot really determine it because sometimes they come in big number, sometimes they don't come, more especially end of the month. You can see that some learners, they don't come here because they have a little bit mean to buy something. But in the middle of the month, you can see that now the big number is now start to increase.
This is Philippus and George's house, and the mother said she's so thankful that the government has provided food for us there at school.
The program made a huge difference in our children's lives because it sometimes does not require me to cook anymore, especially when they come from school, since they already ate.
I'm Chumia Shikesho, NBC News, Venduk.
Multilingualism has been proven to help your child develop superior reading and writing skills, and children also tend to have a better analytical, social and academic skills than their monolingual peers. The Kiddies Bulletin team caught up with one girl who has managed to master almost 5 Namibian languages.
This is 9-year-old Amelia Angala, a resident of Robotics in the Omaiga region. She is from the Omundaungila village in the Ongwena region, but moved to Robotics when her mother relocated there for a job. In her spare time, she plays with other children, and that play, it turned out, has contributed to her personal growth in terms of linguistics.
English, Afrikaans, Tamaranama.
She is also sharpening her Chuhero skills as the 5th of her language menu. Emilia believes knowing other people's languages is important and has many benefits.
Because I learn fast at school, I clear my clock by the school, and the longer no book school
For her mother Tresia Shipula, who only speaks one language fluently, ensuring her children can engage with everybody has been a priority. I am happy that my child or children speak other indigenous languages. It is good. Amelia describes herself as an African child whose identity cannot be traded for anything.
I'm proud to be an African child because playing on the African continent, because African kids enjoy your day much.
Children at the People's Primary School are thankful to an art organization that allows them to exercise their culture and art talent. They now want to see the art and culture subjects to form part of their school curriculum.
This is where the children express themselves in the form of modern and cultural dancing. Namibia, which stands for Children of Namibia, has been providing art and culture classes to the learners.
I want arts to be in more schools just because they learn us everything in arts, how to draw and how to do other stuff.
I'm an African child. I'm in Namibia. I used to draw everything, dancing.
The director of Namibia says art can bring out the best in children.
Arts is very important, and we wish and advocate that arts becomes a promotional
a subject in all the Namibian schools because it really helps with the development of the children, because the children, not all children are academically gifted, as I always say, so we need to find a way to get the kids interested in the arts, interested in their culture, to know the language, to also discover their talents in drawing, in painting, because we never know what these talents can, or how far they can take them.
Imagine using robots as a form of study every day. Wouldn't that be fun? Recently, the Guta Institute Namibia, in collaboration with the Minds in Action group, introduced educational activities for learners using robotics to solve problems.
The activity workshops that will run for the next 12 weeks will expose children to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. They use Lego Mindstorms EV3 robots to educate learners about the application of discipline to programming and practical problem solving. NBC News caught up with some of the children in the action.
This can help with the design and technology because usually in design and technology we write much bigger pages of writing and drawing the structure before we actually build the structure. If we were able to do this on a computer, it would be much easier to build it and program it, so we would be able to learn much more.
When I'm big, I can build things, like be an engineer.
According to the founders, this type of learning for children helps them to learn faster.
The response is, the hype is high, the kids are excited, they want to be in the program, the parents are also excited, so we are just looking for funding so that we kick out the program the whole country.
One of the parents that accompanied her child is happy with the program.
And I think this is something that would be great to put into schools because you can actually apply the concepts in a different way. I think they don't realize that they're actually doing complicated calculations, and if there could be a little bit more hands-on learning in schools, I think it would really benefit teachers and the students.
For this program, children will learn how to work in teams, have the opportunity to earn leadership skills, and apply their minds to critical problem solving.
Many have asked the question, what do children know about politics? Well, as it turns out, they know quite a lot. Our news team spoke to a number of children on this topic and found out a lot of interesting views on political developments in the country. Let's take a listen.
Among the questions we asked the children were the name of the ruling party, the number of the political parties in Namibia, and which ones they knew.
The political parties, like Africa.
SWAPO.
And what other political parties do you know?
RDP.
Kasingadi.
RDP. Okay, I do not know the other ones. Okay. SWAPO, Southern West People Organization. I don't know.
Do you know any other political party?
Yes. We eat like apple or banana and orange and meat.
Leading SWAPO.
What other political parties do you know?
I know. What is the thing again? It's NUDO, PDM, and I think that's all. Leading political party. I don't know actually.
The leading political party, SWAPO.
What other political parties do you know?
NUTO and is it F something there.
Social advocate Sandra Meusi once said, rather than standing or speaking for children, we need to stand with children speaking for themselves. We agree that children need a platform to express themselves on politics. Otherwise, we are deprived of our rights to be heard. I am Paulina Eddy, NBC News, Windhoek.
God bless the children. Keep them safe now and keep them warm. I said, God bless the children. Keep them safe now and keep them warm. Keep them safe and keep them warm. Oh, keep them safe and keep them warm. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Author Amy Maureen once said, "It's not your job to entertain your child just because he or she is bored, but give them the skills and tools to entertain themselves." The right to play is protected in Article 31 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and sports plays an important role in improving physical and mental health. Meet 11-year-old Caris Flowers, who is staying active through dancing.
My name is Caris Flowers, and I'm 11 years old. And I like to dance a lot, and I like to sing.
As the cheerful music bursts, the 11-year-old moves to the beat. It seems like Caris is a star in her own right, but with great dedication comes challenges.
I had a knee injury 2 years ago. It's called Osgood-Schlatter's, and so it's something that I have to grow out of, but it causes me a lot of pain.
She is determined to continue dancing, and the 11-year-old is now discovering that dancing can do a lot of physical goodness.
Even without other people's opinions, that I wanted to stay and dance, but I have asked my dad and my mom and my teacher, and they all think that it would be wise to stay and dance, because if I went out for a year or two, then I could lose a lot of my strength and stuff that I use for dancing.
Thanks to recent reviews of her research, we are learning that those who were physically fit as children are more likely to be fit and healthy as adults, which is something that Caris is learning at a young age.
And so whatever physical activity you're doing, then if you stop it or you're not doing it at all, then if you ever want to do one, then it's going to be really hard for you to do if you haven't been practicing it at all in your past. And so I think that it's really important from the beginning just to be involved in stuff, just to stay healthy and be active so that you have a fit body, and also for entertainment. So I love dancing too, not just for the strength and fitness parts.
Within just 2 years, her passion for dancing saw her appear on several dance shows. These are musical shows Cats and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, to name a few. But even through all the stage and glamour, Caris is determined to remain true to herself.
There's always going to be people that are better than you in any sport that you do, but you just can't let that get to you, because you have to know that you're going to do the best that you can do, but you can't be comparing yourself to other people, or else it's going to affect the way that you're dancing or playing soccer or playing hockey or basketball or anything like that. You just have to accept the fact that there will be people that are better than you, but that you just need to do the best that you can do.
My name is Lebo, and I'm 7 years old. I'm grade 1A, and I'm from Mashakati. And
why do you like to come to Malaysia?
It keeps us busy away from streets. It makes me strong, and it makes me love to dance.
Other kids that are not proud to be an African child kid is the kids on the street, when they don't be loved, when people dump their kids, when people don't love their kids. That's why other kids are bored at home. They look at other kids when the other kids are having fun.
Here's your latest weather report. And that is all we had for you in the Kiddies Special Bulletin, and we hope you enjoyed it.
And to all the African children, enjoy your day and hold your spirit high to conquer the world.
Until then,
enjoy your African Child's Day.
Cheers.